Okay, today's randomly generated elements consist of lace trim in black, which is this sheet. And then we have hearts, specifically the pinup hearts, which are the hearts from the Pinup Girls sheet that I have. I just keep them separately, so I created a separate subject for them. They're really cute. And then the last one is the fortune tellers, which we've seen them before. There are single crystal ball ones, and then there's a bunch of different like fortune teller ladies in different outfits. I have an idea, I think, of what I want to do. It's just going to be a question, because I think I want to do one of the ladies with the crystal ball. I don't know which one yet. I am leaning towards her though. I just love her hair. And I think I might just put a little heart in the crystal ball, like you're looking at her and she's got like love in your future, essentially. Yeah. I think that's what I want to do. Although I also really I like this one too. Specifically her. I'll figure it out. And then I think I'll do probably some moons, and a smattering of like stars and stuff. Although maybe not, because we already have the lace. So, and then obviously the heart is going in the crystal ball. It's gonna be a very simple design, but I think it's gonna be really cute, so I'm excited about it. We are gonna go with a basic straight up and down mug design. This one's a little bit on the small side, just because I want the lace to actually lay nice and flat, so. I have decided which one of the girls I'm going to be using, and it is going to be this one, primarily because cutting around her hair is going to be the easiest. Yup, I am purely basing it on what's going to be easiest for me to do. So let's get her cut out, because I think I want to figure out which lace we're gonna use. I want to choose one that's gonna look the nicest with her. I think this one up top is really nice. And we could like put her, I might need a taller mug, actually. I'm a big fan of this one, just because it's really pretty. I'm gonna use this one, because I like it. That's solidly like the biggest reason I have is I like it. So I'm gonna cut that out real quick. So the nice thing about I'm gonna have something right in this front center of the mug is I'll be able to put, see, I do need a taller mug. She's too tall. They're bigger than I thought they were. I don't want any element of this cut off by either the bottom of the mug or the glaze that I end up going with. So we're switching to a slightly taller mug. I'm just making sure the rim is nice and smooth. just so when I glaze it, there's no sharp bits. There we go. And then I'm going to smooth it down underneath this handle here real quick too. Okay, so I do need to cut her out because I'm gonna put the lace like coming up right to the edge of her design. So I wanna make sure that I have nice clean edges so they just kind of like merge together nicely. So my scissors. I don't need to cut everything out. I'm just gonna cut along the side on either side, and I don't need this moon here either, because I don't know exactly where the lace is gonna come up against her. I'm just gonna cut obviously I'm not following it perfectly, but I am trying to make sure it still has some fluff to it, because that's part of what I like about her hair so much, is that how curly and fluffy it looks. Okay, that's the one side, and we're gonna do the other side real quick. Cut out well enough. I'm also gonna figure out which heart is gonna go in the middle here, and we'll place the heart at the same time that we place everything else, because I don't want it to be too big. Okay, so here's the thing. I like this spiral here. I think I'm gonna place the heart first, and then her hands will also go on top of it. But I do like, the size of this one, so we're gonna go with this one. Yeah. We have our heart. I do think I'm also gonna take various black hearts from this and dot it along the lace as well, just to tie the hearts in even further. But I want her to go here. And what I'm gonna do maybe a little further down. Further down, just so we don't, I'm gonna put a little dot right in the middle of the where the crystal ball is. This is just telling me where I want the heart to go. And somewhere I have tweezers. There they are. Okay. Need to get my phone set up for TikTok recording. Almost forgot again. Okay. So we have our heart. That's gonna go right here. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna cut out cutting off the far edges of this lace so we don't have any weird transfer issues, and I'm going to trim down right below it as well. It also has come to my attention, and by come to my attention, I mean I realized it as I was like coming in here to sit down and get everything sorted. We already had fortune tellers in lace, except we had white lace, and it turned out really pretty. Still hoping it turns out all fine and dandy in the final product and everything, because obviously it's not finished yet, so there's still time for things to go wrong, but I liked how that one turned out. Okay, I can just barely see this heart through the paper, but I'm adding a little bit of water just to add some translucency so I can make things worse for myself. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna let that dry because that was not the most intelligent move on my part. And I'm gonna get the correct length of lace here as well. So we're just gonna wrap it all the way around and then cut off right here. And then what I'll do is once I have her in place, I will then wrap the lace around so that it overlaps over top of her, and then we don't have any like weird overlapping edges on the actual full design. That was so not smart. I really didn't think that through. What I should have done was marked like where these should line up, but I didn't do that. Okay. There. That's where we want her. She's so pretty. I love this illustration. I think it's beautiful. Get her in a place. We're gonna let this water soak in, because you can tell, you can kind of see, I don't know how well you can see on the screen, but right here there's a ton of like very shiny reflection. There's a lot of water in the transfer in that section, whereas up here you see how it's starting to get more matte. That's where there's less water. So where things are drying out is where I'll start rubbing the transfer into place, and then I'll work my way towards the areas that still have quite a bit of moisture, but I'll just do so slowly so that I don't accidentally smear the design. Around the edges here, I smooth out towards the, like, off of the design. That way so I don't accidentally like smear the transfer like back in towards itself and like crumple it and ruin the design. Alright, so it started to dry too much down here, so what I'm going to come back and do, I'm going to add more water. I found that if it gets too dry, then I'm not able to rub the transfer into place anymore. So it's just kind of this back and forth of adding water, waiting for it to dry until it gets to like the perfect level of moisture content. Like up here, this is too dry. You can tell how it's more gray, it's not shiny. Down here, super shiny, a lot of water down here. But it's hard to control how much water is added. So it's definitely just a kind of a waiting game as each of the different areas get to a working texture. And I kind of use my lamps as a guide I like shift the mug to see where the shiny spots are versus the spots that are drying out. And you really got to be careful on top of other colors because things smear on top of other transfers a lot more easily than they do just on their own. And then this corner of her shoulder is really wet, so we're gonna take our time with getting up to that spot. Gonna be patient. I know it's still too wet. I get impatient when I'm being recorded in some way, and I'm trying not to rush things. There we go. Okay, and now with the lace, I want this side up. So I'm gonna put this into place here, wrap it through and under the handle. And then I'm gonna try to adjust this so that we have kind of like evenly spaced, the curve spots are evenly spaced on either side of her shoulder. And that we're not going up at an angle like we are on the back of the mug right now. So it's just kind of playing with it, moving it around until we get how we like it. Right. And then just like any other design that I have wrapping around a mug, I go towards it in sections instead of like all the way across. That way, if there's any folded bits or any parts that are gonna like crinkle up or wrinkle at all, they do so across the design rather than in one section. So there's a little wrinkle in here, but had I like pushed everything towards this area, it would be one really big wrinkle, and instead we have a small one here, a small one here, a small one here. So we're just kind of spreading out the issues into several smaller, less noticeable bits instead of one very big noticeable bit in one random spot. Actually gonna go through this one more time. Having like weirdly difficult time with getting this to set. There we go. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna smooth out these wrinkled bits, because when the paper wrinkles, you can get a little bit of underglaze transfer into those areas. And we're just cleaning them up. Just so they're less noticeable. All right, and then we'll pull our lovely lady as well. She looks fantastic. And the heart is in her hands right there. All right, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna get there's just a little bit of pink inside the tips of her fingers. We're gonna get rid of that so it looks like the heart is actually behind her hands. There we go. Okay, so the question for me now is, do I do Yeah, I am gonna do more pink hearts. I was gonna do black hearts, but I do want to bring the pink all the way around. I am gonna choose these like really dainty hearts though. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 7 of them. Make sure they actually turn out all the same size, because those are not the same size. It's just a question of which size I end up having 7 of. So far, we're aiming towards the smaller. There's an even smaller size, holy crap. All right, 7. Yeah, I just want to put them in the little divots of the lace. Like, I just think that's a cute way to incorporate the hearts in another way, but it also incorporates the lace in another way as well. Otherwise, I feel like both of those elements are just kind of almost a second thought, or like an offhand element, and this kind of helps tie all of them in together in a nice way. This makes a cute little Valentine's mug. Not that it'll be available to purchase by Valentine's Day, I don't think. I am solidly sure it won't be. All right. Little heart. Little heart. And there we go. I think she's really cute. I think it's sweet. It's definitely simple, but like, it didn't need to be not simple, you know? What do you guys think?